Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Another story this morning about a DoorDash driver. Was the DoorDash the other one that took the food back that we were talking about?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
So many of them now.
But that, and that was on the East Coast.
There's the Food Jets. There's the DoorDash. There's the Uber Eats. I mean, it feels like everybody got into the delivery game. I did hear an interesting spot over the holidays. It was like I think it was like the 23rd of December or something like that. Macy's had partnered with one of them in an effort, I guess, to stay in business as a brick and mortar.
You buy a sweater and they deliver it to you?
Yeah, $5 fee. You could buy your sweaters at Macy's.
I hate to tell you, but you can be a Prime member and you get free movies and TV shows.
But it's 2 days.
And you get it in 2 days.
This was same day.
Oh, same day. Like I order it right now. I get it.
If you would have ordered it at 10 o'clock this morning, it would be coming to your house at 2. If there's a Macy's in your market.
Right.
I don't know if the one in Santa Maria is still.
What if it doesn't fit right?
Macy's still not in Santa Maria, is it?
I think so, yeah. Sure.
Is it really?
Yeah, they're down there at the mall. What if it doesn't fit right? Do you have to pay another $5 to have them send it back? Or do you just have to hold on to it?
Take it upon yourself then.
Then you have to go back. Yeah. Anyways, this DoorDash driver was caught on surveillance camera delivering the food and then trying to steal this woman's 8-week-old puppy named Bella. Can you believe it?
You could see her pet the dog, rub the dog. I guess she was trying to see if the dog was vicious or anything. Then you see her scoop the dog up and take the dog directly to her car. If you can take a dog, you can take someone's belongings, you can take a kid, anything. You don't just do things like that.
I thought you said key.
I know I had a kid. You can take a kid. Well, unless you just left your kid out on the porch. So I watched the video. It's a screened-in porch. She looks like they live somewhere East Coast, Midwest at least, East Coast. It looks very cold there.
How big was the dog? 8 weeks old?
Oh, it was a little tiny pit bull puppy. Just a little tiny thing. Literally, you could pick it up in one hand. Maybe 5 pounds.
How vicious could a dog be at 8 weeks old?
I don't know why she said that, but, whatever. I think the person just looked at the dog thinking about taking it and then was like, yeah, heck, they're just going to leave this dog out on this porch. I'll drop their food off and take their dog.
Aren't pit bulls worth money?
That's the tip I'm looking for. 12 miles. Pit bulls, I don't think they're worth money, no.
No, they're not?
Pit bulls are the ones that everybody's worried about, right? I mean, they get a bad rap.
True, but...
Because I don't think like all pit bulls are bad. I think there's bad dogs and there's good dogs. Much like cops. I think there's good cops and bad cops. And just like cops, I think pit bulls get a bad rap. There's more from the cops.
They invited this person to deliver food to their home and trusted them to do their job, and they delivered the food, but obviously took something that didn't belong to them. This is a new one even for me. Pretty shocking when you watch the video and see it happen right in front of you.
Yeah. I don't need another person.
I mean, people steal dogs.
The turnover at DoorDash must be crazy.
Because what's going on at DoorDash? Anybody? I mean, is there any kind of... I don't know what kind of background check you do to get somebody to deliver food, but this is why I take my own food. Because if somebody's willing to steal my dog, what else are they willing to do to my food?
I'm taking a look at some pit bull puppies right now. I might steal a pit bull puppy. They're cute.
They are the cutest.
They are super
they really
cute.
Are. Here's some more from the cops.
They admitted to stealing the dog. I recovered the dog from the scene, still in good health and happy, and returned it to the family.
This could have been something that could have been put to the bottom of the list, but they actually took the time to do good police work.
Yeah. So they got, obviously if you work for DoorDash and you deliver to a certain address and then that person calls and says, hey, yeah, the driver just stole my dog, they're going to figure out who you are.
Right.
I mean, so this probably should have been dumbass of the day.
A plenty going on with the delivery services. I mean, that's how it's worked. You're not going to get away with anything if you're doing anything shady and you're working for these delivery services.
This could have been dumbass of the day, but we chose to go with the guy to put a pastry up his bum and then
the hottest later.
So once again, sorry to all you people delivering food and things like that. These people are all giving you a bad name. I don't know. Maybe you ought to do something extraordinary today to show people that you're not a bad person.
How about just bring
you can be trusted
in a good amount of time? I mean, like you and I are not on board with accessing these services. I can't understand people that are. I can't understand the popularity of them. To think that there are four
and the
major
weird thing
ones.
is you used to do it.
I know.
When you were Uber driving, you would do Uber Eats sometimes.
I would do Uber Eats one time. One time I did a pizza, Jeremy. This was like at the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, this is probably, I don't know, 90 days in, right? So sometime within the first 90 days. And I was doing something in the morning, so I wasn't, my deal when I do that kind of stuff. I do it when I have the chance, or I'm doing nothing else. I have nothing else to do, then I'll turn it on, pick up some extra cash.
So you went and got a pizza.
Went and got a pizza. I got to the pizza place, and they're like, "Yeah, we they ordered the pizza like a while back, so we ended up throwing it away. We'll make another one, so but you have to wait." So I had to wait for like 15 minutes for this pizza. These people lived right down the street from me, it was an Airbnb that was right down the street from me, and so it was not a big deal for me to have to wait that 15 minutes. But I got there and I delivered the food, and I asked them, I said, "How long were you guys waiting for this?" Just out of curiosity, because the guy said they threw the pizza away. They were waiting 3.5 hours for the pizza.
What?
Like, you could not go and drive. Like, this pizza place was right.
I don't understand. When do you get contacted in this whole chain of events?
I got contacted when I turned it on, because I hadn't turned it on. There were no delivery drivers at that time.
So what are these people thinking? They're not going to make their pizza until a delivery driver?
I turned it on, and I don't know. I was just so shocked that they said that they waited 3.5 hours. I mean, you could have done many things to remedy your pizza needs in 3.5 hours, including driving all the way to Italy and picking up a pizza.
You could have went to the store, bought everything, made it from scratch.
Right, exactly.
Ate it, pooped it out, and then still...
They said they waited for 3.5 hours. I just kind of looked at them like, are you serious? You wouldn't get in your car and drive? I live right there. I pointed at my house. I wanted to say, I live right there. It took me literally 10 minutes to drive. Wait 15 minutes for your pizza, but then 10 minutes to drive.
Did they not have
back.
a car?
They had cars. They were staying in wine country.
Oh, but they were visiting.
Vacationing.
They didn't know,
Maybe they were drinking wine. I don't know. And they couldn't, so they had to wait 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours for a pizza?
Did they tip you?
And what would have happened if I didn't turn on the Uber? What would have happened if I didn't turn it on? And then they would not have eaten pizza that day.
Unless somebody else did.
It was the strangest thing.
Did you get a tip?
I forget. I don't know. It really was no big deal. I mean, because if
I was you, I would have. After that, I would have shaken my head and said, "No, I'm not doing this."
Easy money, though. It was like I could make like $15. Drive 10 minutes down the street, wait 15 minutes, give me a pizza, and I take it down. And I just pulled into my driveway right afterwards. I mean, it was super easy.
"31-year-old dude, I guess he's a student, must be like a grad student guy, because that's pretty old to be a student. But him and his buddy were heading to the grocery store. I'm guessing probably a roommate, to pick up some groceries. This happened in Washington, D.C.
Don't judge people that are 31 and going to college, okay?
What do you mean? I'm not judging. I'm just, I'm trying to assess the situation. Most people are 21 when they're in school, not 31, unless maybe they're in, some doctorate program or decided to, start all over.
What if you took gap years?
Is that a thing?
I took gap years.
Yeah, so did I. Well, did I? I don't know.
Took lots of gap years.
I didn't really take gap years. I was
actually doing the math on this the other day, and I was not in college at 31, but I was in college at 30.
You were?
As an undergrad.
Yeah. Well, because it was right before we moved here, right? Mm-hmm. We moved here, we turned 30. I turned 30, you were 31.
I turned 31, like immediately. Like the minute I moved.
Anyways, they're going to the grocery store, and somebody says, "Hey, by the way, if you guys want to get vaccinated, the pharmacist has 2 doses of the Moderna vaccine that are about to expire."
Expire? I don't want no expire.
They're about to, meaning they, whatever. And so they said, "Heck yeah, let's do it." So here's this is so. Can you imagine just walking in? Where do you do Aldi's? And they're like, "Well, they don't have a pharmacy, but."
You go to Rite Aid right next door. So
okay, well, you walk into Rite Aid. Hey, at least at Rite Aid, it's a drugstore. But if you are walking into Vaughn's, they have a pharmacy. You're like, hey, Don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Right?
They do. I think it's like CBS though, or something like that.
And they're like, hey, you guys want to get why us? What?
Yeah, you're like looking at the French bread.
I'd be like, no.
And then they're like,
no.
Hey, got 2 vaccines left over in the pharmacy.
I don't know if I would trust
Get over
that.
there and get to it while you can.
She said, look, I have 2 doses of the Moderna vaccine. They're about to expire. We have 10 minutes before the pharmacy closes. Do you want them? And I said, yes. There wasn't any hesitation because, I knew it was a user who was in a situation.
Could be heroin.
To get, ingredients for a chickpea curry, and I came out with a COVID vaccine.
Well, it's just that easy.
I guess if you're a person that would eat chickpea curry, you're down to get the vaccine from a stranger who just happens to approach you. So maybe it was the actual pharmacist that approached him as he walked in. So maybe it was wearing that white jacket that they wear, that looks like a doctor, that made the difference. Not for me. Not for me. Hey.
So that was just opportune. That was just opportune. He just happened to walk in.
Just him and his buddy walk in. They got the shot. No, that's weird.
No, it's weird, but
because only certain people are supposed to be getting it right now. Not just anybody. We're not there yet. We're not in that phase.
Yeah, but they're getting ready.
That's not till March. I watched the news.
They're getting ready to close up shop, though. I mean, you gotta take advantage.
Why me? Why am I getting it? Isn't we supposed to be giving it to first responders?
Walk into the store late and you get the ingredients for the chickpea curry.
Okay, so there's your strategy. If you really want to get it before you're supposed to, start hanging around grocery stores with pharmacies. Later. Or pharmacies right before they close the pharmacy.
Because they will have prepped so many for the day, and then they're like, well, we got these 2. Next 2 people walk in the door.
Don't they just leave them in the freezer until it's time to pull them out? How do you prep them? You pull it out, you pull the thing,
I don't. From what I hear, and this is a.
What do you hear?
I had a very interesting conversation. This is not like the logistics of getting this streamlined is nearly impossible because. When you go in, from what I've heard, you have to answer 52 questions.
Oh, my Lord. Really?
So they ask you a question, and then they check the box. And then they ask you to check a question and check the box. Now, if you check all the boxes, then they'll give you the vaccine.
It takes like an hour.
Then
Wouldn't it take about a minute to answer every question?
After they've administered the vaccine, you have to wait 15 minutes to make sure that you don't have any adverse reactions, like side effects, to it before they let you go. So the 52 questions and the 15 minutes is like you're talking about 30 minutes worth of time.
So he's sitting there at the Vons and he gets the
chickpea curries getting warm.
Yeah, and he collapses. What do they call an ambulance? I mean, what are they going to do for you
and then
if something happens?
The next pharmacist that comes in the morning is like, "What the hell does chickpea curry come from on the floor?"
Oh, we had a guy we should have gave, but we gave it to him, and then he freaked out and
I told you guys never give it to somebody with chickpea curry.
God. So weird.
But you think about it. You think about it. Like we have, and I feel bad saying this because we sit here on the 6th day of the year that is supposed to turn everything around. I don't know if this is going to be the year that turns everything around because.
No, I'm looking forward to 2023. That's going to be a good year.
If it takes that long to get a vaccine, it's not like when it all came down and you were doing the drive-up tests where you'd stay in your car and then the guy in a hazmat
Yeah, I just thought you drove up and you're done. No. I mean, the flu shot literally takes me 30 seconds.
Now, if they streamline the 52-question process and the 15-minute waiting time, then yeah, maybe they do it. But think about it. There's, 320 million people in this country?
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of questions.
If you have to,
it's a lot of time answering questions.
From what I've heard, initially they said, well, they would like to get 75% of the people vaccinated. Now Fauci is saying like 90% would be ideal before we could get back to normal. That is, 90% of, you're talking about 300 million people, essentially. Yeah. 300 million people need to get vaccines. A process that takes 30 minutes. Even if you're doing 1 million a day in this country, which I think is...
Are you going to start doing math on me? Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we're going down that road.
I think is very aggressive. It is very optimistic to think that we could do 1 million a day because I've heard of healthcare workers that are saying, I'm not going to take it yet.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are supposed to be taking it right now. Even if you have 1 million a day, take it. It's still going to take 200 days to get to 200
That's
million.
if there's no
And
obstacles.
we still have another 100 million to get to beyond that.
That's if there's no obstacles, right? That's just if everything runs smooth. But what if you get some rogue conspiracy theorist pharmacist who goes in and ruins an entire, tray or refrigerator or vials worth of vaccine? Did you hear about this? This happened. We're going to get to that coming up. Plus, if you've taken the vaccine, if you've had the first shot, would love to talk to you. I'm curious how this process goes, how long it took you, and then when they'll let you take the next one.
Yeah, did
they email you? Do they call you? Do they just say come back?
Did you have to answer the 52 questions? Was the second dosage just as long of a process as it was the first time?
Sorry, Jeff and I don't know anybody who's had the vaccine, so we can't ask them. But if you have, we'd love you to call in and just so we can ask you a couple questions. Yeah, 805-543-3693. That's 543-3693. Don't get the full vaccine. I don't think it works.
Have you ever decided to exercise? And you're like, I'm going to exercise this week, and you do it one day, and then you don't exercise any other days, and you're like, well, at least a little bit's better than nothing. That's the same thought process behind this.
No, I get it. That's what I say after 10 minutes on the treadmill. I'm like, it's going to go 30, but I think 10 is at least something.
I can spread that 30 minutes across 4 days. We're good.
Yeah. Right on. Thanks, Brian.
You guys have a great day.
Who's got the vaccine? Jeff, you don't know anybody who's got the vaccine yet.
Nope.
You hear about it on the news, but I wanted to ask somebody some questions about it. Jeff found a story where it said they ask you, 50 questions?
Yeah, no, this was just I was talking to a friend. He said that they said that he was reading. I could text him and ask him. But
they ask you a bunch of questions.
52 questions, and you have to answer these questions, and that's like the precursor for getting the vaccine. Then once you get the vaccine, you have to wait 15 minutes, make sure that you don't have any adverse reactions to the vaccine and any side effects going on. And then once you've waited 15 minutes and everything checks out right, you're free to move about your day. And then I guess you have a second vaccine later on.
Well, that's not true. My cousin that works at the Crazy Hospital up in Washington State, she actually got I haven't talked to her, though. I should ask her about it. But she did get the first phase of the vaccine. I don't know which one she got, but...
Wait. She had it, though. She had COVID-19.
Yeah, and then she went back to her doctor. Well, she works at a medical facility where it's mandatory. If you're going to work there, you have to get the vaccine.
But if she had it...
Otherwise, they're not going to.
We don't know. So where's this lie? We don't know if there's resistance to it if you've had it.
So she got it back in April, and then she was checked every 3 months. And the last time she went in, she had no antibodies for coronavirus left in her body. She had antibodies, and the last time she went in, she didn't. So
that is so strange. Yeah. That's what's so scary about this whole thing. We don't know.
We're still learning.
It can't be treated as if Brian was talking about the whole cutting the doses in half. I was reading about that. I think it's hilarious that we are at a place in society where you are quick to discount CBS as a legitimate news source.
CBS?
Yeah. CBS was reporting, it's widely reported that they're considering, the FDA is considering.
I question anything from any news network now. It doesn't matter what it is. The same thing, when I read something on Facebook, I question that the same as I do from anything from a network.
According to CBS, the FDA is considering cutting the dosages in half because Moderna says that the dosages would be effective, just as effective if they were cut in half as opposed to getting the full doses. But many in the medical community are like, whoa, pump the brakes on that. Let's not start tinkering with stuff when we haven't even gotten 4 million vaccinations out.
Well, we got a first responder on the line. He's been holding on for a minute now, and he's already gotten some of the vaccine, I guess. So where did you go to get your first shot?
So I went to the county health department here in San Luis Obispo. And the process was you pull into the back, they confirm that you've got an appointment, and they're in half-hour intervals. So I had an early appointment that morning. Everybody's supposed to stay in their vehicle until you're called out for your appointment time. You line up, socially distanced. We've got to provide our identification and copy of our pay stub.
Okay.
We fill out a little form that we had to bring prior to the appointment. They sent it to us, and then they give you a little bit of a screening prior to going in. They tell you about it, and then you sign a form and they give you the shot. And then you got to wait 15 make sure there's no
Side effects.
adverse reactions or anaphylaxis. There's an ambulance standing by just in case.
Okay.
And then they give you a little card saying you got the vaccination and come back in 3 weeks.
And then in 3 weeks is when you take the second dose?
Yeah, you take the second dose within 3 weeks. And they say that you can take it 4 days earlier than 3 weeks, up to, and then there's no time limit on taking it post 3 weeks for the second dose.
Yeah, I've heard that the first one goes in pretty easy, and it's the second one that people have had reactions to where they're actually sick for a couple of days.
Yeah, there's a couple of reactions that I've heard of is mild symptoms. I didn't have anything except for localized pain at the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like somebody just socked you in the arm. You had a
Flu shot
bruise
type
there
stuff.
for a day or something.
So when do you get to go back?
I go back on the 12th. So
Next week. Okay.
yeah, go back next week. So it's a pretty easy process. We didn't have to fill out any big, huge questionnaire. It was just a small information sheet about the vaccine, possible side effects, you acknowledge it and sign it.
Did you get Pfizer or Moderna?
It was the Pfizer.
Okay, that's
Yep.
good. All right, man. Well, thank you. Appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thanks. Have a good one.
Yeah, there's a Johnson & Johnson. I don't know where that's at. I haven't heard anything on the news about that for a while, but that should be very close to being released.
AstraZeneca's coming out with one.
And,
So,
yeah.
there's hope on the
There'll be other
horizon,
options.
I would imagine. You know,
Because Moderna and Pfizer are both European companies, correct?
I think Pfizer's an American company.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I wonder
Maybe
if
it does to
there'll
my-
ever be
my
a
patriotic
point
ass.
in time where there's a ranker list on Ranker.
Which the better?
Which is the best, in your opinion, what is the best COVID-19 vaccination?
Have you been to Ranker yet? There might already be something started.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.